Oh, what's up, nerds? How you doing this evening? Welcome back to the Square the Circle Music Channel. I'm your pal, Major. That's right. We're gonna sit and talk about spinning records tonight and what we like about music and all of that fun stuff. Real quick shout at you. Don't forget, go over to Instagram, say what's up, follow my shit. I'm Square the Circle Records at Instagram, on Instagram, whatever. Come visit, follow me, give me a heart, say what's up. And don't forget, everybody, I started a contest. That's right. Go watch my contest video. Scroll down in my history about a month ago, something like that, and watch this video and follow the instructions. And your name will get entered into a hat and get drawn, and you may win a cool prize. So yeah, watch the video, follow the instructions, tell me the 4 desert island pics you take, add a comment in the, under the video and tell me, hey, I subscribed. You got to subscribe. That's the key element. Because I'm trying to get 500 subscribers, and that's all there is to that. It's fun. So yeah, thanks for listening to that. Now let's talk about music, shall we? Really fun list tonight, guys. I wanted to do, I get into my ramblings about the music I love and the elements about it that I love dearly, and I always mention about these albums. I'm like, oh yeah, dude, the A-side on this album, the A-side just fucking slaps, man. It's so great. And so I make a little note, and I remembered a lot of these. And so I wanted to bring out and feature my top 10 favorite A-sides to albums, the A-side on a specific LP. And how much it means to me and how great I think it is. So I'm gonna do 10 of them. No real criteria, I really kind of just wanted to involve albums, A-sides specifically speaking, that aren't just like one badass song. I'm a big lover of, like metal and prog and stuff like that. A lot of those bands, they love to just do like full on, 18-minute opus on side A. So I didn't want to just pick up, maybe I'll do a list, do an episode down the road of all of those types of A-sides where it's just one badass song. I wanted a theme of kind of like a real, like, great opener, great follow-up, maybe then a ballad, and then just kind of like this overall arc, you know what I mean? Just kind of like, I like this story being told of like, put on the A-side, here's who we are, and here's this, short little tale, our A-side. It's just it's great. So I picked out a bunch of my favorites, and I'll tell you why right now. Number 10 on my list of greatest A-sides, my favorite A-sides in my collection. Band I've brought out quite a few times now. They never really go away. They always stay right up here, up front with me, and they get a lot of spin time. They're called SLIFT. They're a French band, extraordinary band that, pretty multifaceted and very talented. Everything kind of in the way of kind of like stony, stoner rock, hard, heavy stoner rock mixed with, obviously psychedelia, but also really cool elements of progressive rock and krautrock, and just so much going on in this music. First song just kind of like beats you upside the head with it, just like a low droning note on his A, or no, probably his E string, but I think he might have like tuned it down even lower, to a lower note. I don't think they play in drop D, but maybe it's like an open C or something like that. She's hammering on that low string of his guitar, and then he like slams like 7 notes, and he gets to like the 8th note in like a long form, like two bars of 4. And he gets to that 8th beat and does like this really cool delayed, like almost like a 5-lit, kind of like drawn out over the bar. It's fucking great. So it's just like dun 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 boom boom dun 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 boom, fucking really cool. Drummer kills, bass man kills, bass and guitarist are brothers, and just watching them just shred this shit is, they put out a video for that first song. It's the title track to this album called UMMON. It was released in 2021. It was on my top 10 of that year. What an incredible opener. It's really lengthy, got a lot of like peaks and valleys, a lot of cool shit going on. Like I said, really cool elements of like krautrock, hypnotizing, kind of awesome heavy beats going on. and then it just kind of seamlessly melts into the second track. It's just a 2-track A-side, and we're talking like 18 minutes of music, and they play a song called It's Coming, ... It's so fucking magnificent, and this one just really goes with the psychedelic hard rock, kind of ethereal space rock theme to it and elements of it, and just, man, it goes to Jupiter and back. It's so fantastic. Everybody check out these guys. Yeah, band called SLIFT from France. UMMON is the album. The A-side on this shit, it just fucking is fire. Absolute fire. If you like the heavy stuff. So everybody check it out. Next on my list, a little bit more easygoing, a little bit more kind of soft rock, kind of prog adjacent. I mean, this first album was very very proggy. Everything subsequently that they did in their career just kind of, you know, went more down the popular rock, soft rock avenues, you know. But this first album is so fucking badass, and the A-side especially. And I love getting a chance to bring this one out and talk about it. I've only talked about it a little bit, but Ambrosia, and 1975, right? Yeah, 1975, their eponymous release, their debut album. And I love this art. It just, right from the beginning, kind of fun, quirky, you know, pop melodies mixed with progressive ideas, and just, you know, tongue-in-cheek, kind of nice, very nice, nice. I don't know. I really dig it. Great groove, great keyboard playing, amazing vocals. The vocalist in this band, I always forget his name, goddammit, but he's just magnificent. At least he was in 1975. I love the shit out of this album. Goes in another one of those real great kind of like segue moments where you have this tempo and this really catchy opening track, like Here We Are, and then it segues, but the beat goes into a 6/8 time. So you go from a straight 4 feel, and the quarter note pulse never stops. Music can do that. It's fun. It's just math, folks. You know, you can seamlessly go from 4/4 time from the first song, and you hear all these interesting clock sounds and themes, and like that straight 4 pulse just goes straight into a 6/8. Bum dum dum ba dum dum ba dum dum digga dum do 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 dum dum jump bum dum dum da. Oh man, what's the name of that song again? Super fucking cool. Really great rhythms. Time waits for no one. Fucking cool song. Yeah, it's just, you know, only 4 tracks on the A side, but yeah, real soulful, sweet, awesome, you know, bluesy kind of, you know, rootsy, white boy funk feel to that third song, Holding On to Yesterday. You know, you got white boy Fro just killing it on the piano, singing his heart out. Well, both of them. I think he did primarily a lot of the backup vocal is the keyboard player, but the singer guy too. Man, they're so fucking great. Their drummer's killer. Last track on that A side, The World Leave Me Alone. Real kind of not angry, but just kind of a more in your face kind of funk. Yeah, World Leave Me Alone. Dude, what a great fucking A side. Everybody check this album out. 1975, Ambrosia. Their self-titled release. One of my favorite A sides. Like I said, you know, these ones, you put them on and just like you can't help but just get completely absorbed. You'll be working around the house and that first song comes on, and you find yourself after like 6 minutes, 7 minutes, you're on song 3, and you just planted your ass like on the couch, and you're just really just like taking this A side for what it's worth and everything it's given you. I love that. I love being forced to like sit your ass down, and the music does that. It's like, you know, the picture in the cartoons with like the aroma, scent, and like that's what audio does to me. That's what sound waves do to me. It just like tickles my fancy and makes me just like, it hypnotizes me and sends me to the couch, and I just have to sit there and just really focus on it. This one too, it makes me want to start banging my head against the wall in a good way. I talked about this a bunch recently. It's probably my favorite hardcore band, Refused, and their 1996 album called Songs to Fan the Flames of Discontent. They are a Swedish hardcore punk metal. They're more of kind of a you know, thrash kind of metal band to me, but really great dark elements, political elements. everything that punk rock is great for, right? But yeah, Swedish hardcore from the 90s. These guys were on the Epitaph label, and this A-side will fuck you up. It is magnificent. First song. Here we are, guys, the world. This is who we are. First song is called Rather Be Dead. You know, just kind of rather be dead than to kind of like fall under the thumb of your authority kind of thing, you know. Second track's called Coup d'etat, you know. Oh man, their drummer is just one of my very favorite hard drummers of all time. This guy can just, man, he can play. Third track, Hook, Line, and Sinker. Fourth track, Return to the Closet. Fifth track's called Life Support Addiction. And the final track on the A-side is called It's Not Okay. This, yeah, like I said, this A-side will fuck you up. It's so great. 1996, like I said. I had never heard anything like this in 1996. I was still just kind of like really riding that awesome alternative rock train. I think it's like, you know, Smashing Pumpkins had just come out with Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness, and you know, everyone was just kind of still doing that alt rock mid 90s thing. And then my buddy just like, hey dude, come over and like let's jam in my basement. And oh hey man, you ever listen to this band? Check out this Swedish hardcore band. Fucking rearranged my brain. Thanks, Kyle. Shout out Kyle Moniger, dude. Miss you. Love you, bro. All right, another one, man, that reminds me a lot of my buddy Kyle. This A-side is magnificent. This has probably, I will almost go as far as to say my favorite Rush song. I don't know. It's hard. I really like Jacob's Ladder a lot. Happens to be one of my favorite, if not my favorite Rush song. But yeah, dude, the A-side on this, Permanent Waves, get the fuck out of town. 1980, dude. Very few years in there in the middle of Rush's career where I really like. It's really the only thing that I listen to of Rush. Don't hate me, guys. I totally dig them. It's great, but I'm, you know, like I said, Permanent Waves and Moving Pictures and maybe a little bit before and maybe a little bit afterward, but that's about all I really dig of Rush. But this A-side, like I said, starting the album off with Spirit of the Radio. Yeah, one of their most famous songs of all time. Just that piano at the din, 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 din. I love that shit. I will choose free will. Fucking free will, dude. And yeah, only 3 tracks and then Jacob's Ladder. And it's like that fucking, whoever wrote that melody, obviously Alex Lifeson probably wrote it, but I don't know, Geddy Lee wrote a bunch of their riffs and shit, but Alex Lifeson's holy shit, that shit ends me every time I hear it. And then I love it when it totally changes direction. They're about like da 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 dun be do 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 do, and it goes in that really cool kind of spaced out proggy shit. Man, what a great A-side. Just 3 tracks. Again, another, you know, those 2 albums just kind of rearranged my brain. Neil Peart's insanely cool fucking drumming. Everything these guys do is pretty fantastic. I should buy more Rush albums, shouldn't I? I don't know. It's you know, you get to some of the really early stuff and it's like, man, I only really like one song. I don't think I want to get their entire discography for a handful of songs. But yeah, this one for sure. One of the greatest A-sides in my opinion. Here is one, my goodness. Pardon me while I wet my whistle, guys. Here's one for the, you know, for the record books. This is one that, like, honestly could, outside of just my corny opinion, this one really could be written down as being one of the greatest A-sides to an album in all of rock history. No doubt in my mind that this had to be on the list. It should be a lot higher. I'm not really doing any kind of real ranking here, guys. I'm just doing like the 10 through 1, whatever. But everyone knows the power of this one. 1971, Pink Floyd's album, Metal. I mean, yeah, one of the most monumental A-sides in the history of rock and roll. Welcome to it, side 1. Jesus Christ. One of these days I'm gonna dash you into little pieces. And then Mellow You Out, Pillow of Winds, all that beautiful like slide guitar, whatever you, yeah, it must just be like lap steel or slide guitar that he's doing on it. I love it to death. Really great, soft, beautiful, mellow tune, mellow vocals. Really great way to kind of mellow out from one of these days, and then taking you even higher to a really beautiful, beautiful spot. And right in the middle of the A side, the song Fearless. Probably one of my very favorite Pink Floyd songs of all time. It was like the first Pink Floyd song I ever heard. And to this day, I get chills when I listen to it. I love it to death. Taking it to a loftier, kind of more mellow place for Saint-Tropez, you know, and then finish her off with Seamus, kind of a quirky, fun, bluesy, you know, dogs howling. I love it. It's what an amazing A-side. You're like, that's the album, right? That's got to be it. Of course, side 2 is that is another story. Yeah, definitely one of the greatest A-sides in rock history. Pink Floyd's Metal. Love the shit out of this album. Another one that's big on my personal list. Huge for me. And for a debut album, you know, pretty amazing A-side. Not a lot of people, pardon me, bubbles. Not a lot of people can really argue too much about this one. You can not like them for whatever reason, but you really ought not deny the fact that the A-side on Pearl Jam's debut album 10 from 1991, yeah, get right the fuck out of town. Once upon a time. And then Even Flow, and then Alive, 2 of their biggest radio hits of all time. And another just like kind of scream in your face, kind of punk fueled, you know, crazy cool thrash song called Why Go? Why Go Home? Yeah, and then they mellowed all out with that really kind of dark and sad and somber kind of, you know, probably another one of their most popular tunes of all time. The song Black. A song that I am very two ways about, very two-sided about, I guess you could say. I go through periods in my life where I really think that that's a really magnificent masterpiece of a song. And then I'll go through a phase where I could just be like, I don't need to listen to this and I can skip over it. I don't know. These days for me, and since it's really becoming a piece of nostalgia for me, like heavy nostalgia, I don't skip anything, obviously. This A-side is just out of this world. And then they finish off the A-side with the, you know, another haunting tune, Jeremy. Yeah, just a beautiful way to begin a debut record. It's perfect. It's just, to me, it's perfect. This whole album is, but especially that A-side. Undeniable. Its influence on rock and roll in history, and just kind of, yeah, rewriting the book on a period of rock music in the history of this country. Pretty cool. Oh, another group of guys dear to my heart, close to home, here from the Pacific Northwest. This A-side is so catchy and wonderful and creative, and just everything about it just cracks me up. I could just listen to it over and over again. Built to Spills. Keep It Like a Secret. For real, guys. Like 1998. Oh, man. The plan keeps coming up again. Do, 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 do. Oh, but the plan don't mean nothing. It stays the same. Oh, man. Next song, Center of the Universe. Oh, Carry the Zero. The song Sidewalk. The song Bad Light. And then finishing off the A-side with a real catchy winner. Full of hooks. Full of all kinds of wonderful thematic beauty. It's called Time Trap. That shit rips. It rips real good. Doug Marsh, man, what an incredible songwriter, guitar player, just kind of a, you know, kind of a folk hero of sorts here in the Pacific Northwest. as far as, you know, rock musicians go. Love the shit out of this album. The A-side is just, you know, monumental. Really fantastic. If anybody hasn't really ever given this a shot and you like things of the kind of, you know, alternative rock, you know, yeah, it's kind of early alternative rock, Pacific Northwest sound. Not heavier and grungier, much more kind of like classic rock infused. Yeah, check out Built to Spill. Fantastic band. Keep It Like a Secret, 1998. Oh boy, we're getting down to it, folks. Getting down to the last couple here. This one's just, man, it's like, talk about takes you right back to a wonderful time and place, you know. 1993, summer of 1993, I was a referee and gun room guy, whatever, you know. I would maintain and clean and refill and do gas and stuff like that for paintball. I worked at a paintball facility, and mostly I would referee. And this one, for the sake of an A side, because that's generally what I kind of learned how to be a DJ that summer, in a sense, you know what I mean, like to a certain degree. But that's what it was all about, was the A sides, like, because that's about how long a game, you know, in an indoor paintball facility, that's about the max time you got. One round would usually go, you know, anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes. And, you know, 20 minutes would be a good round, and you could get a full A side of music practically. And this one was just constantly on the stereo. Summer of 1993 at Splat Paintball Facility in Springfield, Oregon. I was in the tower spinning tunes for all the monkeys down below, shooting each other with paintballs. And this one was just constant. It was fucking wonderful. Battery! You know, it's like Metallica's answer to thrash punk, you know. Super great. I love that fucking intro, or, you know, song as an introductory song to the album. And then taking it to the title track, Master of Puppets. I'm pulling your strings, twisting your mind and smashing your dreams. Yep. Chop your breakfast on a mirror. Holy shit. These guys were fucking crazy. The Thing That Should Not Be as the third track. And then, of course, finishing off the A-side with Welcome Home. Sanitarium. Leave me be. What a great fucking A-side. What a great album. 1984. Metallica's Master of Puppets. Immortal classic. Yes. Had to be on the list of greatest A-sides of all time. Here's kind of an oddball, kind of a fun, interesting one that a lot of you folks may not know about. This artist specifically, but this was, again, you know, kind of personal soundtrack to my summer, you know, must have been 2003, probably. Yeah, summer of 2003 kind of went on for like 3 years for me. A lot of great music in that period in time, and I just did a lot of fucking off, if you know what I mean. Isn't that what you're supposed to do when you're 23? Drop out of college and just fuck off for 3 or 4 years? I don't know. That's what I did, and this guy was definitely a huge part of the soundtrack to that. Discovered him through some really close friends and loved his pop sensibility and his songwriting style and just kind of his cool, you know, his cool moderate rock feel, just everything about him. I'm talking about Brendan Benson. I love me some Brendan Benson. This guy's he's made a lot of music. Most recently notorious for teaming up with Jack White and a few other awesome musicians to create the band The Raconteurs. So he's the second frontman, you know, singer and songwriter next to Jack White, beside Jack White, and doing a huge bulk of the heavy lifting. Brendan Benson is just the shit. This is an album he put out in like 2001, I believe. I didn't discover him till a little bit later, like I said, probably around, you know, summer of 2003. When my homie Joe, shout out Joe Mitchell, I love you, buddy. Joe Mitchell introduced me to Brendan Benson, along with our friend Isaac as well, and we just ate this shit up. This did not leave the CD player in my homeboy's, you know, Pathfinder. He loaned me, well, he didn't really loan it to me. He allowed me to take care of it for a summer while he was finishing out his last year of marching drum corps. I stayed in Eugene and, you know, took care of his Nissan Pathfinder for him. Dan Barman, if you're out there in New York City, I love you, buddy. Thanks for loaning me your Pathfinder back then in summer of 2003. That was fun. I was driving it around a lot and listening to Brendan Benson in it non-stop. This album called LAPALCO. I don't know how to pronounce it. LAPALCO, I think it's just LAPALCO. Yeah, dude, this fucking shit is amazing. And since it's a CD, you can't really divide it into two sides, but he did release it, I believe, as just kind of like a test record LP. I don't know if you can get copies of it if there's only maybe like 3 copies or something, but you could see the list of tracks on there. If it were to be pressed to LP, it would be a badass, A-side, ending with the song You're Quiet. But, starts off with that song Tiny Spark. I think that was on a car commercial in 2001. Really charming, really great. He's an awesome lyricist, fantastic lyricist. Yeah, specifically, track 3, the song Folk Singer. Track 4, Life in the D. He's from Detroit, I think. I think that's what that's all about. Another song that really kind of shows off his really great kind of like pop sensibility and really fantastic lyricism. A track called Good to Me. It's track 5. And then again, ends the A-side with the song You're Quiet. Wee-oo, wee-oo. I think that was on like a car commercial or some shit too, but I don't know, maybe on like a Sprint Mobile commercial or some shit. I don't know. He's a really great pop rock artist. I love the shit out of him. Everybody check out Brendan Benson and his album LAPALCO from, I believe, 2001. On a record label called Start Time. I don't believe I've ever seen any other artists or albums released on that label. So, yep. All right. Getting down to the last little bit here, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. I only got 2 left. This one's huge to me. This is an album I grew up with. I was introduced to this by my mother. And so this is one of those that you sit down and you listen intently and you can't believe this A-side is still going on. I think there's like 6 to 7 songs on this A-side, and every single one of them is an absolute masterpiece. 6 songs. Yeah, I'm talking about Synchronicity by The Police. Dude. Starting off with the actual title track, Synchronicity. Well, they call it Synchronicity 1 because Synchronicity 2 is the final track on the A-side. But yeah, moving into like almost got the same tempo. It just kind of goes into a double time feel. Boom, 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 boom. Weird, cool jungle rhythms and stings off in this misty distance, singing to the chimpanzees and talking about dinosaurs and shit, about evolution, a song kind of about, the evolutionary path and trip that, humans have taken. Really kind of cool, just, for Sting, cool lyrics, man, and then bleeding into a really interesting kind of cool, kind of punk elements, kind of, I don't know. Everyone I know is lonely. I don't know. This is a good one. Take that space between us and fill it up. Fill it up. Fill it up. Oh man, and then that just insanely weird ass fucking track that Andy Summers sings and does this thing like very kind of like it reminds me a lot of King Crimson, what Audrey and Ballou. They even did an album together that year, didn't they? Like in '83 or something. Andy Summers and Audrey and Ballou, or he did one with Robert Fripp. I don't know, whatever. But yeah, he does that. The song is called Mother. It's like this insane, crazy conversation he's having with himself about his mother, and just some Freudian shit, some crazy Freudian shit. This album is just dripping with that. I love it. Kind of armchair philosophy, but whatever. It's still fucking great. 5th track doesn't really fit amongst like the kind of storyline in a sense, but it kind of does in a continuity, kind of overall arcing kind of feel. I don't know. It's an interesting kind of drop off moment, but I'm talking about the song track 5, Miss Gradenko. And it just goes into that really cool kind of backwards. Stuart Copeland's got that funky reggae almost style beat. Some really great playing finally by Sting. Like, you know, a lot of his bass playing isn't really the most technical by nature or really anything that fantastic, but, you know, his lyrics and his singing are very, very good for what he's doing. But yeah, go tell the director I said so. What are you saying, Mr. Danko? Pretty cool. And the last song on the track, you know, or excuse me, the last track on the A side, Synchronicity 2. Yeah. What is he saying? Looming in his headlights, the pain upstairs that makes his eyeballs ache. Oh man. Way off in the distance, you know, a monster, you know, crawls to the shore into a cottage on the shore of a dark Scottish lake, many miles away. Dude, yeah, many miles away. Synchronicity by the Police. 1984, 3, right? Pretty sure it was 83. Fucking badass, dude. I'll never forget my mom putting this on at night and just letting us go crazy. And then after the A side was done, get to bed, kids. You know? Oh, what a great album. All right, 1983 was a good year. Here's another one from 83. And this is the last one on my list. I have mentioned this many, many times and how fucking absolutely badass this A side is. Every track, I'm almost positive, and I haven't researched this. I'm going to force myself to sit down and look at the internet tonight and research this, because I'm almost positive that every single track on the A side of this fucking album went on the top 10 for sure, was sitting on the top 10 for a long time. Of course, opening up with Owner of a Lonely Heart, their biggest single of all time. Owner of a Lonely Heart. And then Hold On. Hold On. Arguably even a bigger song than Owner of a Lonely Heart. They went a long way with that one. It Can Happen, you know, begins with that really cool kind of mock sitar kind of thing that, you know, that Homeboy was doing. Why is his name escaping me right now? Guitar player from Yes. Oh, this is gonna bug me. Anyway, he's got that great effect on his guitar where he can make it sound like a sitar. He does that all over this album. Sorry, Steve Howe. Yeah, and that whole song is kind of just like really influenced and taken over by the kind of Eastern feel and, you know, really cool spiritual aspects to this album and all of John Anderson's lyrics. And oh, I've always loved that and adored everything about him. And then the last track on the A side, Changes, which is I think one of the greatest Yes songs ever written. This one's very Ravenized. Trevor Rabin, you can tell put his stank all over that song in a good way. His awesome stank. It's got those great like South African, you know, rhythms. It's really magnificent. Everything about it, and the heavy metal guitar fucking slides and whammy bars and Trevor Rabin is it's fucking awesome. What a great fucking album. Specifically, this A side is just one of the greatest of all time. Super mega platinum. Sold however many copies, I do not know. But definitely one of the biggest selling records of all time. 90125 by Yes. 1983. That sums it up for my list this evening, guys. I think I'm really trying hard to keep these top 10 episodes under a half an hour. I know that I really like to drag everything out sometimes, but I wanted to get short and sweet with this one tonight. So them's all my favorite A-sides, guys. Tell me yours in the comments. I want to know. What did I forget? What should I be listening to? What's some of your favorite A-sides? Don't forget to clean your records, call your mom, do all that stuff, eat a healthy meal. Yeah, peace in the crease, motherfuckers. Boop.